talk to Sonia from Bryan Insurance Agency, and we're all your insurance needs. Each week we discuss something going on in insurance, and today something very near and dear to my heart. That would be the two-wheeled motorcycle that that is one of the most funnest things ever.
Well, I promise I'm not going to talk about how dangerous I may or may not think motorcycles are.
Dangerous.
And I'm not going to talk about that today. We're just going to talk about motorcycle insurance, which just like auto insurance in the state of Texas and almost every other state in the United States, you're required to have liability insurance of at least $60,000 for bodily injury and $25,000 for property damage. So if you drive a motorcycle, you're going to, at the very minimum, need to have liability insurance so that you can register it and be legal to drive.
Well, the thing about motorcycle insurance is that you definitely want to take this out. And I mean, I haven't had any close calls or anything like that riding motorcycles, but there has been some incidents that if I wasn't watching out for the other person, then there could have been a problem. And one thing I find out is kind of weird is that people don't see motorcycles very easily, and they pull out in front of you a lot. And that is something I find out, but it's a smart thing to have insurance.
Right. Well, the state requires you to have the liability, and then just like auto insurance, there are some optional coverages that you should definitely consider. One of those is either medical payments coverage or personal injury protection, which would cover you or a passenger if you're injured. And depending on the limit that you carry, personal injury protection is more expensive because it covers a few more things. Medical payments only covers if you have medical costs. So that's something that I think that every motorcycle driver should very seriously consider carrying. And then you can cover, for damage to your motorcycle, you can cover collision, which you know what that is. That's you collide with another vehicle or an object. And then there's, other than collision or comprehensive, which would cover hail damage, theft, vandalism, that kind of thing. So there's several other optional things, that you can get in there. But the thing about it is talk to your insurance agent, tell them what kind of bike you have. One thing that's very important, and you could probably tell me a whole lot more about this than I know, but some people put a lot of money into customizing their bikes. And sometimes probably as much, if not more, as what the cost of the motorcycle was. So you need to tell your agent what customization's been done to that bike so that if you want all that covered, if something happens to it, that it will be. So, it's just the best thing. And also some other things to consider when you talk to your agent is how often do you drive it? Do you go on long trips or is it for local stuff? Just so that they can give you the best quotes for your particular needs and you can know all the information and make good decisions on what insurance you want to purchase.
Yeah, I mean, bikes are expensive enough, but then when you start adding all the things to them, that even throws the value up even more. And yeah, you need to tell your agent exactly what is on that bike, so that way, if something does happen, you know exactly what is being covered.
Right, and then, there's some ways that you can reduce your cost. Of course, liability insurance, as a rule, on motorcycles is not very expensive. When you start getting into a little more cost is when you cover damage to the motorcycle, and again, it just depends. But a lot of insurance companies offer discounts if you've taken safety courses, if you're a member of a group, a riders group. Just like with almost any other insurance, your credit, if you have good credit, that will help your insurance rates. Obviously, if you are a safe driver and have not had any accidents or any moving violations, that will reduce your rate. So there's lots of things you can do to keep that insurance cost down and still have the coverage that you want so that, you can enjoy your bike and do all the things you want to do and not be worried about it if something happens.
So the group I'm in could get me a discount?
It could. It very well could.
Yes, we're a very rough group to be the Christian Motorcycle Association, but that's okay. We have a good time. But yeah, you need to talk to your agent about these things, and the safety course is a big deal. safety course is a huge deal about making sure that you take that course. Without that course, you can't get your license, and also the state of Texas requires that to go along with it, and it's a very smart thing to do.
I read something yesterday that I didn't know was about this. Of course, I think you probably need your head examined if you don't use a helmet, which I guess maybe you would definitely need to have your head examined if you had an accident and weren't using a helmet. That was a bad joke. But did you know that in the state of Texas that if you have to have a helmet on unless you are 21 and you are covered by a health insurance plan that covers medical expenses incurred from a motorcycle accident. See, all this time I thought that it was just optional because you see people without helmets all the time, but it's not. If you have to be 21 and you have to have health insurance that would cover you if you had an accident.
Well, I'm not going any place without mine.
I know. Well, you shouldn't since you have how many do you have now? 4?
And I got another one yesterday.
Yeah, so.
But it didn't cost me anything.
So, but, again, I think it goes without saying you should wear your helmet, but I did not know that until yesterday that it was actually a state law. I thought, because, you always hear people say,
right,
oh, you have to wear your seatbelt, but you don't have to wear a helmet. Well, that's not really true.
Right. So put your helmet on. Be careful out there, and if you need to talk to any of the folks at Bryan Insurance about motorcycle insurance, well, there's a lot of bikes on the road out there. Are you looking for a good deal or whatever you may be looking for? Give them a call at 549-2525. I know y'all got some other ways to get a hold of you, too.
Yes, we do, and I do want to mention that Lynette and Ann are the experts in motorcycle insurance at our agency, so if you call, if you just say you want motorcycle insurance, they'll get you to those ladies. They know a lot about it. And then you can go on the web and to visit us at www.bryanins.com, or the old-fashioned way, you can come see us on the second floor of Sierra Bank.
Are the elevator rides still free?
They are still free,
Okay.
or if you're using that Fitbit and want some steps, you can go up the stairs.
So either way, get it done at Bryan Insurance Agency. All right, we want to thank you again for coming by and seeing us. Great information, and folks, if you got a bike, enjoy it, but do it responsibly.
Thank you.
That's Sonya, Bryan Insurance Agency. We have more coming up.